have
about,
questions?
I do, actually.
We have it here.
Municipal
go into-
buildings. Fire station. I gotta get my budget out. Okay, Melvin Fire Station heat. You had $4,000, you spent $3,416. Let's say you got another oil bill of $478, but this is as of 12/26, so we can go into,
Okay.
but that makes it 38, and we're looking at a budget request of $4,800. So I don't know why we need to raise $1,000 more for
No.
Melvin Village Station.
I just, I had put it at that because that's where we've been, you know, wherever as far as it goes, but I'm sure that we can drop it down to 4,000 without,
And the same with Mirror Lake. I mean, no, Mirror Lake Fire Station went down,
yeah.
okay. But if we look at the Mirror Lake heat cost, you're at $2,888. So I'm thinking 3,500 rather than 4,000, which is a better number. And fire station maintenance, you spent $3,267 so far this year.
We're not done.
Right, but you have a $5,716 budget. How much more you had to do?
Well, as far as with fire station maintenance, that also takes care of anything that will come up during the year.
Right.
If, you know, obviously if we didn't use it, then we turn it back as far as that goes, but some years we have expenses that are more than other years, so.
Okay.
Well, while we're on that, if I might, when you say fire station maintenance, farther down you have the central fire department maintenance.
Yes.
So I'm assuming when you say fire station maintenance, that's split between Melvin and Mirror Lake? Okay,
That's correct.
yep, that's all I need to know.
So if we go to Central Fire Department, electric, which is the next to the last line, you spent 15,500 this year, year to date.
Mhm.
I don't think we're gonna go to 16,900.
Where we've had years that, you know, if they have dropped this year as far as the amount, then we'll be good. But I've had some months that it was far more than what I, you know, I was obviously budgeted for. So I've tried to keep a couple $100 in between, to, you know, not go over in that.
Well,
way.
what I'm thinking, because you got in your last bill for the electric, I believe,
So
you spent 15,500.
15,492.99.
Right. So if we went to 16,500,
Okay,
I'm just nickel and diming here, buddy.
I see that.
Okay.
So
Fire
it-
department
it's-
maintenance.
As long as you have no problem with going over in those
I
lines.
obviously haven't, because you've gone over a couple of,
Yeah.
not you, but
Yes.
this budget's gone over a couple places. Fire department maintenance,
So
you had a
six-
$22,998 budget, and you spent $21,194. So and once again, I'm not the only one at the table. I'm more comfortable putting $25,000 on that budget than putting $26,338. That's $4,800 more than you had this year for fire department central fire maintenance.
So, here's my issue.
Okay.
It's gonna cost me $4,000. You need to read through these budgets as far
Okay.
as the information, cause I provided it there for it. And you will see that the annual sprinkler and pump flow testing, which is every 5 years,
It's
and the
next
internal
year.
inspection is coming up this year for $4,000.
There you go. So now.
So I didn't just put it in there because I wanted to put it in there. That's
But
what it's
I
gonna
mean,
cost.
okay, you spent $21,200 on maintenance
Yeah.
this year. All of those things need the same amount of money imparted to them next year? And that's essentially what you're saying. You're saying you're gonna do another $22,000 worth of maintenance?
Yeah, every year we have a certain amount of stuff that goes wrong.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know that. So,
I don't either.
you know, as far as I go, so if I don't, I know that,
Alright, then I'll give you that one.
yeah,
I'll go to 26,338.
I know that $3,840 for the furnace and AC is a given. That's a contract price. As
Right.
far as it goes. I know that the $4,000,
That's not for repairs, that's just
no,
for,
that's just
that's for
coming
annual,
out, taking it
PMs,
apart.
your spring and fall,
Yeah,
PMs.
So if they find anything wrong with the sprinkler system when they take it apart, that's over and above, you know, what they're gonna have to
Yeah, I
do,
definitely will,
which I hope they don't.
I definitely
um,
will.
But the $8,100 that we have in there for, furnace, AC maintenance, repair to, system and all of that, that takes care of anything else that goes wrong with the furnaces and stuff like that. So, and we know that stuff goes wrong.
Those are
on
your
a
heavy
regular
hitters, your
basis.
frequent flyers.
So, and then the trash pickup went up by $100. The mowing and station maintenance, is the mowing, for the station and the cleanups, those are, staying the same. General maintenance and supplies, as far as supplying the building on a regular basis, as far as, you know, in the wintertime, as far as ice melt and whatever else that has to go on, anything that we use in the building as far as it goes, that's what that covers. With the alarm monitoring and inspections, they went up as far as their charge per hour, and that was highlighted in my area, so that went up, that section went up to $1,950. So that was $408 for the alarm monitoring, $800 for the yearly inspection, and obviously station cleaning went from, I think that it was like $20-something an hour to $25 for the person that comes in to clean the station.
Is it the same person?
Yes, it does here.
Yeah, we gave her a raise last year.
So that affected us slightly as far as that goes, but no big change, but yes. So the big thing is the $4,000. It's usually $450 as far as that goes. And if they don't have to get into that 100%, then that price may be a little bit less, and we don't have to pay so much for that.
Have you ever done a load bank test on your generator?
We usually,
When they hook all the things up to
yeah,
it?
they do. Generator connection comes out and takes care of all that for us.
Do they do that annually, or is it
It's, yeah,
every 3 or 4 years?
they come out, they had just got done with the large, where they come in and change the belts, they change everything with it, and they did that testing with it.
The major.
Yeah. So that was another, that was last year, or, you know, this year as far as it goes, and that,
But they don't
Yeah,
do,
what-
they don't do that load bank test every year.
no. So if that's the good thing about you know, as far as the contracts, you know what is coming up and what is not, as far as the PMs on the different things.
Yeah, I hit all my lines, so I don't know if anybody else has got anything.
That was
Not on this one.
all I could think of for any of the fire buildings.
So,
Can you clarify which ones changed?
Yeah.
Central Electric
Oh,
went
yeah.
down to 16.5?
Yeah.
Merely-
Central Electric is 16, I got 16.5, we haven't,
Right,
our
but
collective
just,
hasn't talked about this budget
Right.
yet.
Right,
But no, I'm gonna move that we reduce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines in this whole budget,
okay,
but that includes all of the buildings. Cause currently, we've got $165,791 in that budget, and we've spent $142,856. So I'm thinking a budget of somewhere around 153,000 is more appropriate than 160.
Were the other fire lines that you mentioned were reducing?
I don't know, is the chief in on that, all this? Did you wanna go through this discussion with us?
sure,
Okay.
I'm here, if you don't mind.
So, I don't mind at all. So,
I wasn't meaning all of them, I meant the fire ones, but we can go through all of them. I'm ready to come up. So, up
okay,
to you.
on the fire department ones, if you wanna limit us to that, then Melvin Village Fire Station heat,
Right.
my recommendation would be $4,000.
Yeah.
Mirror Lake Fire Station heat, my recommendation would be $3,500. Fire station maintenance, my recommendation would be $5,500. Central Fire Department electricity, $16,500. And I'm leaving your Central Fire Department maintenance as $26,338.
Thank you.
What are Central Fire Department improvements? About 2/3 of the way down. Right below the mowing, 19-mile mowing electric.
We were. Central Station improvements.
Inclusion mowing, I think.
No, the Central Station improvements is always separate from everything. We had crack filling for $1,000. We had carpet or flooring.
Pavement
No pavement.
or interior concrete?
As
Cracks.
far, yeah, it's, well, actually, it would be, both as far as it goes. We have pavement, obviously, that last year we didn't crack fill it or seal it, there at the station, so I figured that, the cracks are getting bigger and we would fill them, but not seal it as far as it goes, cause that's usually like $5,000. We have some, flooring and outside, siding repair that we were looking at, for $3,500 with that, just trying to keep up with upkeep in it. And replacement electric door locks, on the gear room and the hazmat room. The electric locks that we have been an issue, and sometimes you can't get into the building with them, so we have to find a different type of lock to put in there to replace what we have.
Do you also have is there a backup key for those?
Yes.
You have electronic locks, but you also have a backup,
Yeah, we have a key in a box to
your own
put
Knox
in.
box?
Yeah, but we have our own box to get into our building, obviously,
Yeah.
as far as it goes.
How much did you plan for that?
The
$2,000?
replacement locks, they were $2,000, and that's buying the locks and having them installed, and the wiring as far as anything that needs to be changed. So that total was $6,500. And I don't,
Those sound like more maintenance items.
but it's improving the building. It is a maintenance thing, but it's a large item that, you know, basically stands itself as far as separating out. And
An improvement to me would be something that you would add on to something that wasn't there before.
okay.
I think replacing those furnaces would be an improvement. That's my opinion.
Alright, but
Right.
I'm not gonna get lost in that.
Good.
So, that's where we're at with that.
Go hit the other lines.
Sure.
Okay, second line, town office heat.
Do we need Chief Thompson for this?
No, unless he wants to hang around and watch sausage.
I'd like to say
being
thank
made.
you, Chief, for
Thank
your
you.
time. Go home and then have supper and enjoy some time with the family, or whatever it is, watch gun smoke, I don't know.
Thank you for your extra time.
Well, thank you.
Okay. So town office heat,
Yep.
year to date right now, we're at $6,167 spent, or a little over. But I think $6,500 is a better number for that line.
Okay.
Town office grounds maintenance,
Can you go back one to the town office maintenance?
town office maintenance.
Yeah, because Chairman Pike had asked me about that earlier, and I looked at the detail.
Yeah.
6,000 to 2,000.
Right, and so there was the repair of a restroom and a window repair,
Mhm.
but there, I don't think that line's enough. So Jack's the one who gave me the number for that line.
And what is Jack's number?
His number was the 2,000,
Oh, okay.
but when I looked at the detail behind it, I think it should go up a little.
And also, while we're on that discussion of
Because the
town
alarm,
office
I'm sorry, the
maintenance,
alarm company was in there too.
we, part of the money that we're encumbering is for the unfinished fire system in here. We're gonna have to put door closers on those two doors. They're non-electric, they just close the doors. That wasn't part of the project, so we're gonna have to get that money either from leftover funds from what we budgeted for that job, which I think that there's plenty of money, or find a place to buy it.
Okay.
Alright, so what do we wanna put on town office maintenance for the number?
When you say up a little, do you have a number you think, Audrey, with all your expertise in town office maintenance?
Well, even $500 would probably just give you a little comfort.
Alright, so you want that to be 2,500?
Yes, please.
Okay, so. Alright, and then town office grounds. Currently, we've spent $8,663.
Right. I know why that one is going up. It's gonna, because True Green is gonna reseed and refertilize and try to revitalize the bare spots out here. They're nothing but dirt anymore.
Right, Jack talked about that.
Yes. Getting that. So it looks like a lawn again.
So we're gonna go up by $1,500 there?
Yeah.
Okay. And townhouse heat. Where is that? Townhouse heat.
Seems to stay
We
the same.
spent $2,787 so far year to date.
Right.
I'm thinking $3,000 is plenty.
I suppose pellet prices actually will control all that, won't they, 'cause that's how we heat it,
That's the only heat up there is pellets.
as far as I know.
Okay, townhouse improvements, we've spent nothing on that, and now we wanna put $1,000 there, why?
Well, pellets have gone up.
Okay,
Where line are you on now?
I'm up to townhouse improvement.
Again, I don't know what Jack might have in mind to improve there.
Did he give you something on that line?
Just the number, no details.
Well, I'm gonna recommend that we stay at 500, we didn't spend anything this year.
All right.
Highway building electric. We've currently spent $1,400.
I didn't have input from the road agent, I went from what we've currently spent. We do have one, oil bill outstanding,
No,
just
this
came
is
in.
electric,
Okay, yeah.
so 1,400. I'm okay with going to 2,000. I mean, if everybody wants room. On the heat, highway building heat, you spent $1,288, you see there's another bill?
There is one more bill.
I don't know how much the bills are, let's say it's $400, plus he's gonna put an addition on hopefully.
Well, maybe.
Alright, I'm gonna recommend $3,000 on that line,
Okay.
and go to Melvin Village Fire Station heat. We spent $3,416.
We've already spoken of that one, bringing it down to 4,000.
4,000. Mirror Lake heat, down to 3,500.
Yes.
Fire station maintenance, was that the one you were talking about?
No, he's talking about improvements in Central.
Yeah.
So that one you already brought down 481.
Okay, so I'm gonna, fire station maintenance,
You said 5,500.
5,500.
Yep.
And the same on everything else, fire department electric at 16,500, which is the next to the last number. And fire department maintenance at 26,338, so that would give us a total budget with my back of the envelope calculation of $155,353.
155351.
353.
353.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
I'm making that a motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Next thing I have is 4150, tax collector.
Yeah, I have a big question about that.
I have a couple of questions. Go ahead, Bob.
Tax map expense.
I think Bobby gave us a detail on that, didn't she?
I did. So this whole budget, there were several items I wasn't sure where they actually should have fit in because it's a little bit of, different things going on. So for example, the office equipment has computers in it.
Mhm. Office equipment purchase. So are we purchasing any equipment?
for next year.
Yeah.
There is, if computers go there, there is a recommendation from Lakes Region Computers to rotate out a certain number of computers every year. Next year, only a couple are due, but there's something like 10 that might need upgrading in 2025. So you might want to bring a couple into,
Well, in 2023, you had a $6,000 budget and you spent $7,186, so you're $1,186 over budget. So is $6,000 gonna work?
yes.
Tax collector, telephone,
Where are you, about way down?
it's right under tax map expense.
Well, so where are we? Okay,
Okay, telephone, I don't think that's tax collector's telephone, that's all telephone, isn't it?
yes.
You would think so, why is it under the tax collector?
It's under financial administration in the budget. Why it says tax collector, I don't know, this is all 4150,
Yeah,
financial administration.
Yeah, it's really a,
cause it's got our paycheck in there too.
And see up in there, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
But that's not, I don't know if that's enough, 9756 is enough money, you spent $11,134.
if you look at the detail, we also spent $34,5175 card member service, April 2023. That was our initial purchase, that was a one-time expense, that's not coming back.
We lost the problem about
No, you gotta go to the detail on page 6.
page 6.
Yep. 1, 2, just go down to the $34,5175 expense, it's about 10 items down.
Got it.
That's a one-time expense, we're not getting that back, or spending it again, I mean. And then you go down about another 10 below that, what's, $992.86 for townhouse telephone? What's up with that number? And, about 5 below that, Elan Financial Services, $577.36.
that was my headset to work wirelessly.
Okay, so that, again, that's a one-time purchase, we're not gonna do that
But
again.
the $992.86, was there something different that happened at the townhouse in June? Do we not have a telephone there?
I'd have to go back
Or
through.
did that get it, was that in addition, was it not included in?
It wasn't included, we didn't do anything at the townhouse.
They got paid $992,
I know,
but that's a different company,
that's consolidated.
right?
right, not charter,
Charter's the internet,
okay.
consolidated is the telephone.
Mhm. I don't see how the town office telephone can be a third, a little more than a third the cost of the townhouse telephone. Who's using, I mean, what's the deal? It doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
that's what I'm saying, something must have changed.
Those 3 items, the $34.51, the $992, and the $577
Oh,
stood
that
out.
isn't even our phone number. We need to check Consolidated Communications on that one, cause they're showing us phone number of 603-596-590-3601. Everything else is 569.
As it should be.
Right, so that charge, we need to challenge.
Definitely.
Yeah, everything else is 569. So there's your over budget spending right there for the telephone.
Yeah, so I'd like, I think that 97.56 that you're proposing needs to be relooked at. I don't know what to make the number, but I think it needs to be looked at again.
I think the way I actually came up, that's one I do have some science behind, or thought behind. I took the
82.
82,
Yeah, that's a lease payment.
and then the monthly consolidated, which is another, it's $355.48, and then $100 a month for the townhouse. So you have about $800 to $900 per month recurring times 12 months.
Well, if it's $100 a month for the townhouse, then the $992.86 makes good sense.
Well, that's the wrong company for the
That's-
Okay,
townhouse.
but
I'll
the
still look
number.
into that,
Okay, thank you.
but
Yeah, Townhouse Charter Communications is what Townhouse Internet and Phone has.
Hmm.
So you're saying $359.82 is a monthly, happens every month?
correct.
Okay, and the $99.99 happens every month?
Right.
And the $352 happens every month? Is that right?
Well, it's $356, the
$356.
last one.
Yeah, I don't know, how do we get two payments for the townhouse? Telephone, that doesn't make any sense. We're paying Charter the $99.99, why are we paying anything to Consolidate for a townhouse telephone?
Town office is building,
No, it says
Nice.
townhouse right here,
the 9-1. Yeah, I gotta look that one up, that's
That-
before me.
that's out of whack.
So 9768 should be the right number? Or 9756, it doesn't matter, but that's the right number for telephones?
It's 357. Sorry, I'm used to using an adding machine. So, you have 816 times 12 months, 97.92.
Okay. So right now, and I've gotta be able to explain this to my friends on the budget committee, we're $7,234 upside down on that line alone. So we've spent $11,134 on telephones. And I can walk my way through 1,000 of that problem. But the 3451 was not, okay, so that's the one-time charge that Bob talked about. And the 577 is the one-time charge. So that's $4,000. And then the overcharge of 992 is $5,000. So not too far away, okay. So do we wanna leave telephone at 9756?
Still gonna have to explain the difference between the 3,900 and the 9756. We consolidated, I hate to use that term because consolidated as a company, but we consolidated our internet and telephone service under one bill
Right.
here. So there must be a line from last year that was an internet.
Yeah, we need to get the 22 budget, because that's gonna, all we're showing here is the 23 budget, or, no, the 22 budget was 3922.
That was the actual.
That was the actual on that. But we did change things, and we didn't have an option, really, we had to
Right.
make a deal with somebody.
Our other system was gonna be defunct.
Right, so we bought a telephone system. And we didn't have a warrant article for that?
We did not.
Okay.
We said we could find the money.
I mean, just looking at the operating budget as it stands, we have $7,000 overspent on the telephone line. It's obvious that we need to change the number.
Yeah. Quite.
So the numbers was at $3,900 and now it needs to be $9,700.
And that's deserving of an explanation.
Yeah. Yeah, do phone.
And if Audrey finds that the 992.86 is somehow, for, I don't know, doesn't apply, that should come off of that 9,700.
No, cause she just did the calculation for the services that we pay monthly for.
Okay,
So the 990, I mean, what you were doing, I think, would be taking the grand total of
$11,034.
mhm.
Sorry?
Either $11,034 year-to-date expense.
Yeah. So you're at 900 and something a month.
It looks to me like you had $420 in recurring costs historically, and those were increased significantly. Granted, the fiber is quicker and probably much better, but the go to communications,
That's our lease payment for our 15 phones.
So we had to change the phones out, cause they were
right.
discontinued the old phone service, so we got a lease payment on the phones. Then we've got,
But I thought the $3,000 was the new phones.
We had an installation fees too, because the phone company, our phone vendor didn't install them for free.
Right. But I thought the go to connect, that monthly recurring fee was just to make the answering machine answer and go to our email. That's the go to connect bill.
No, I think there's,
that's two different companies.
you have to refresh my memory with the,
Cause we don't pay anything to,
I thought we had a lease payment.
I don't know.
Yeah, isn't it 350 something? I remember 350 something.
Maybe that is the go to connect, I don't know where the phones came from.
Same
That's-
place.
but-
Or no,
You'd have
We'd have
to
to
go
do
through
that.
the Teletechniques file.
right. Go-to communications is, wasn't that something to do with answering the phones or moving the calls?
Makes the calls go to email.
Yeah. So
I
that's
don't think
a
that's part of
different, that's the computer company had us do that.
So let me, for my own benefit, see if I got this right. We're paying consolidated for the equipment and charter for the service? Is that the way that's working?
Yeah,
No,
Then why do we pay two people the same thing? I don't get it for the same telephone.
because the police station has their own,
That's not the one I'm thinking of, but yes. Townhouse telephone. It's
Townhouse
there.
telephone.
It's on here twice.
townhouse is that building up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Why do we pay for that twice?
Where do you see it twice?
Consolidated Communications, the third line up from the bottom says, I'm sorry, fourth line up, says $99.99 for townhouse internet and phone.
That's correct.
Then you go to Consolidated Communications for $992.86, it says townhouse telephone.
That one's one I'm gonna research, we think that might be an error.
Okay, so I'm good then,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah. This is terrible. Moving along?
Alright,
I'll do some research and be ready to explain it to the budget committee.
Thank you.
sir?
so the question was never answered. The 9756 that you budgeted, you're confident that that's an accurate number moving forward?
For,
Regardless of what we spent last year,
right, I took the 3 services, add them together, multiplied, times 12.
okay.
Okay. If we blow on down to equipment lease and service, you had an $8,900 budget. You spent $5,413. Where did $9,024 come from?
Make sure I'm on the right line.
It's on,
4150, 27,630.
it's actually on page 1 of the expenditures.
One up from the bottom.
Yep.
the bottom,
On page 1 of expenditures,
okay,
equipment lease.
27,630.
Yes.
On the current year. This- Oh, do we get it in the detail as well?
More expenses for charter and
That's why I told you it was a little bit of a fruit salad.
town house.
Right, so there was phone charges here,
January, February, March, April
Right.
probably, yeah,
and
those
the
should expire.
quarter office machines are our printers, the copier. Claudia is the postage machine.
Mhm. So there's those internet fees that went away. Or should I say, are now part of the telephone line.
Hmm.
Yeah, so 5164.48 is that? No. 27. Yeah, 5164, so you're at 5415. Okay, so the question remains, do we need to be at $9,024?
For quarter office machines, you need 3,600,
Mm-hmm.
and for Quadient, you need, let's see, I'm gonna round it to 520. They do quarterly payments. And another 1280. Rebecca, you don't have to detail all.
No.
Okay.
So you're up to 4,900.
Yeah. So is that all that should go in here? Printers and copiers, I mean, mail machine, copier.
27, so you've got internet, quarter office.
So I'm thinking that line can go from 9,024 down to $5,000. That's what I'm coming up with.
Yeah, it could, except you gotta move the internet.
Well, that is up in the phones now, cause the phones are IP.
That's why the telephone, one of the reasons why the telephone took a jump. Cause the internet is now included in the telephone.
Okay, so we need to bring the 9,024 down to what, 5,000?
3,600 and
And 1280.
1,300,
So 49.
Yeah, so I came up with 4880.
$5,000.
Okay, let's make that line 5,000.
And you say that's all that needs to be in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at what's been spent so far.
Yeah, $5,200.
I mean, we can make it 55.
With internet fees, so,
Right,
I mean, it could probably be less.
So there's some of the justification of why the phone's higher.
Mhm.
It went up there.
okay, yeah. There you go, perfect. And moving on from there. Computer software lease. I don't know if that's enough. So you had a $31,000 budget, you spent 25,568.
Any end of year charges?
Well,
December?
I'm sure there's a month left that hasn't been paid.
which won't get paid until January
So you get
probably.
$2,000 for that, so you're 27,000, so you're, I'm not sure 30 grand is gonna say wrong. And then we got 36 on
The thing that,
the maintenance, and we're upside down on that, $4,000. Sorry. So
I
you've got,
think the Avatar
Mhm.
bill that was paid in November, maybe should have waited, because I think we've paid Avatar twice. However, what I'm not seeing is, the MuniSmart, the Harris bill, the software.
So yeah, you paid Avatar $4,600 in December. Wait, no, $8,600. That's way too much money. You made 3 payments on the 28th of, oh, that's in, how's
Right.
that happen?
Because I think they paid him twice. See how it's, when it was put in December
December
of 2022.
Of 2022.
You can see it's broken out into 3 different software pieces.
Building, assessing, and tax.
Right,
$8,650 worth.
So we paid 2 years and 1 year according to this budget.
correct.
So what you're saying is, I mean, I don't have their contract in front of me, but I think we only paid them by about $9,000.
I think we're prepaid next year.
Okay,
Yeah, we didn't pay 2023 twice. I think we paid 2024 ahead of time.
yeah, we paid 2023 in December of 2022. And we're now paying 2024
November.
in November of 2023.
Correct. But what's not in here is the finance system, the MuniSmart. I'm not seeing MuniSmart or Harris or,
Isn't that something else though, isn't that in, computer maintenance and support?
why, see, that's why I told you I was a little confused. Why, it's software, so
Right.
should this line be software, computer maintenance and IT support? Because you can also see there's 1 month, oh no, I jumped, software lease. But there's 1 month in there of Lakes Region computer, which really should go down under computer maintenance support.
Well, the other thing you've got here is you've got 114 in late fees on Alon Financial Services, and you got the Alon Financial Services credit card up here under the account with Avatar.
That is the Adobe,
Right,
that's that's very clearly a software lease.
okay. But the finance charges need to go in there too.
Where are you seeing the finance charges?
On page 13 of your breakout sheet here, where it says Kyle Williams Town Meeting Sound, and then you got,
Cause that's miscellaneous, that's a late fee.
I don't see a late fee, well, I guess we can disagree.
You're right, you've got a Lakes Region monthly fee in the
Right,
warrant.
yeah, that has to go down. I did, do my work on the side, you know, the math student who doesn't know how. I did do my work on the computer software and lease, and I feel comfortable with that number, and I
Okay.
included the name Smart in it.
Okay, so the 30 grand is a good number,
Yes,
okay. And the 36 for computer maintenance and IT support is a good number?
that is like Region Computer times
Right.
12.
Okay. So,
Appreciation event, we're doubling, 1,500 to 3,000.
really appreciative, I guess.
I took the,
Is that what we just had, the appreciation event last
Right.
week?
right, and I guess last year it was catered and much nicer and people were informed earlier. I think this one was a little bit lame, and
Yeah, we had $1,500.
so,
I thought the food was adequate at this one. Of course, I don't eat much anyways,
I didn't hear any complaints.
you know, finger sandwich is fine.
but that, the number of people that you had was minimal, it was like 27 people.
Yeah, I was disappointed at the
Yeah.
turnout, but
So-
the food I thought was fine.
So, yeah, cause it was ordered based on the responses, the RSVPs. So if you had twice as many people, I don't know all years what you've done in the past.
Somebody was talking about moving it up to the Birch and Vine next year, and I'm totally against that.
Camp Belknap used to throw in a
Okay.
event where they had a cookout and gave boat rides and everything, and that went away.
I
This
think
is
we're
the
good.
first appreciation event I ever attended, and it'll probably be the last one by the looks of it, and that pleases me. Turnouts for that, yeah, they've never been real huge.
How much did we spend at this mediocre event?
We signed a check to Camp.
Yeah, it's not on the bill here.
No.
It's,
It wasn't $1,000, that's for sure.
No, I think it might have been closer to 500.
I think we should leave it at $1,500.
I agree.
Okay,
Is that where we're going? 15?
I think so.
Okay.
Training and education.
I would like Cammy to attend, the NHMA conference or a couple
Mhm.
NHMA or finance type things, so she hasn't had much training. I think it would be
So
good.
you're gonna be boosting
Yeah,
the occurrences, okay.
right.
That sounds good to me.
Yep.
Um, Okay, the tax collector's over on her postage by $300, so she's gone from 4,000 to 4,500. And what's the other one? Training and education you talked about. And tax collector mortgage research. Stays flat, I guess at 2,200.
When do we start talking about transfer station sticker fees again? Next year's budget, 2025 budget?
Yes,
Yeah, cause
Okay.
it's good, the only thing that affects is your revenue. It doesn't affect any of this.
Okay.
So if we do the changes that we've said, by making equipment lease service 5,000 and appreciation events 1,500, and leaving the telephone at 97.56, that gives us a total of 182,760. So I'm gonna move this budget for that amount.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Personnel administration,
Yeah,
4155.
The social security, are we certain on that now, cause you're way upside down on that currently?
Says here it was $16,902.18 in the hole.
So, have we looked at how that happened?
I didn't look at that one, no,
Okay,
that's craziness.
I almost think if your number is correct this year at 64,500, and I look at your payroll sheet which you created for us,
Yeah.
and that comes out to $64,400. Then I think the what is it?
The 78.
$78,500 is wrong. Unless something extraordinary happened. And my social security check isn't reflecting an extraordinary event, so I can't imagine it was one.
Yeah, mine neither.
So all of these numbers I'm very happy with, but, or as happy as I can be. I don't know, do you wanna look at anything, Guy?
In past years, I just haven't noticed separation pay, but it's obviously that it's been there, so. Anything else looks
It's a
good.
liability,
Yeah,
so it's gotta be somewhere.
That's fine, I just hadn't noticed it. And this reflects, everything we've talked about. There is, there's one item here in the transfer station, recycling assistant one, new.
He hasn't presented his budget yet.
I know, but this would assume that he can get the top paid recycling assistant, a qualified person to fill that position, for that amount of money, which I don't see happening, but,
Well, what did we pay the last guy that just retired?
well, the number is there, it's getting a
Okay.
person that has those qualifications
Oh,
to fill that position.
but if you
We're not
get-
moving,
He
we're not
did-
moving a man up and bringing one in the bottom, I don't know, we have to ask him about it.
But if you have somebody with those qualifications and you don't have enough money to hire them, then
I do understand that, but, that just irks me a little bit.
And are you certain on the health insurance, under $360.74? $360,000. That's only a 5% increase. Year over.
Right, well, you can see who I put it in on, and
Okay,
those numbers are accurate for next year,
okay.
contract. I did put the new police officer at family and the transfer station person at a two-person plan.
And the dental is being paid by individuals, it's not being included.
It's there.
Oh, no, you got it, 18.8. Okay, I'm sorry, retract that question.
Okay.
Okay.
What I would like to point out is, in the transfer station, the 4,000 that should be added to their salary line, or 5,000, because of the Monday holidays.
Mhm.
So that will not be a separate holiday line item. It's the Monday holidays that need to be added to the salary.
So just add it to the payroll figures.
Right.
Good.
Okay, and that's also true for 4210.
Right.
There's two shifts of people that get coverage in the police department. And so for the town to maintain two police offices on holidays,
Mhm.
you need to have at least $11,000 in their salary lines.
Well, I'm gonna move that we approve 4155 for $786,354.
I'll second it. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Can we go to general government? For the sake of the viewing public, that is the Joint Loss Safety Committee and the Capital Improvements Committee. Neither of those budgets shows an increase.
7%.
The numbers seem to fall pretty well.
I'll move $500 for 41.99.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
That's
Okay,
it.
those budgets.
So the budget committee will have all of these, and they'll have them for the 6th for discussion,
The ninth,
the 9th, the 6th, it's an upside down 6, that's all it is. Okay,
Moving on to the signature file. We have from Audrey a list of things that need to be encumbered. Police radios, police server, and some conservation monitoring. Police radios, $2,701.50. Police server, $7,992. Conservation monitoring for Rick Vanderpool, $1,080.
oh,
That requires 3 signatures. I'd like a motion to encumber those funds.
can we look at the budgets for a second?
You may, by all means.
So let's go back to the police.
Let's get back where we were. Taking a minute.
Put that away.
I know, I did too, because
I was hoping that,
I didn't think the chairman was gonna beat us up so bad.
well,
Okay, so what is the?
the first one is for, well, it's 2, police radios and police server.
Okay,
And
okay,
if I could even find police, I don't like the way this is done.
it's on page 5.
Oh, thank you.
And radios is $41 underwater. That's what I'm seeing. What's,
that particular radio, I believe, is for the new vehicle.
okay, what's left in his new vehicle account, you know? Cause we don't have to encumber that. It's coming out of this, what we set up with a warrant article there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what other expenses, but it's 3,500.
And is repair and
I'm
maintenance?
sorry, that was the fire car.
I'm sorry,
That was the fire car.
okay. But there's a police car warrant article that I
Looking
thought
for
had
it.
$24,000 left in it.
I'm looking for it. And that one's coming out of capital reserve. Maybe.
The unfinished
No, warrant.
items,
So he has 11,000 left in that.
Okay, and what's the amount again? I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
$2,701.50.
Okay, and that's a non-lapsing warrant article, so,
No, that's a capital reserve fund, actually, so I don't know the full amount left. I withdraw my statement.
well, the capital reserve is $50,000
well,
for the police vehicle, or
we
police
put
equipment.
50 in.
Yeah, but,
There's money
But there was
left in.
money already.
yeah, but it wasn't in that account, it was somewhere, it was in another account, right?
No,
No.
It was,
always been that account.
it was
It's
left
been
over
account for
from-
two years.
oh,
So there was some money from the first thing he bought, now he's got a second thing he's bought.
it was like $18,000 left, right, at the beginning of the year?
Something like that, yeah.
And it was in the same account?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Okay, so,
Okay, what are the other things he wants?
a police server for $7,992. Will that come out of
No, that's a.
New equipment?
Yeah. He doesn't
Okay.
have any money in new equipment.
But we
Does
told,
Yeah, he does, he's got
Yes,
$9,572.
don't forget, we also told him to go ahead and buy some vests.
Right,
Yeah, he's got money in his uniform line though.
But I don't have, you need supportive document to encumber, I don't have any contract for vests or,
Okay, the server, he's gotta have a purchase order.
yeah, I have purchase orders for these,
yes, it's attached, yeah.
yeah.
This'll help, I hope it'll help you.
Clarify my,
I would, yeah, make the waters even muddier if possible.
so. I don't know what he's got left
In which line?
in all of his, well, he's got $95,000 left on his police budget, but,
Right,
That's right.
and so both of those can be covered by new equipment.
right. How much is it? It's 27,150. 79.92. So $10,693.50.
That isn't covered by new equipment.
Well, we can encumber it.
Yes, we can, because he's got so much left over in the overall
Right.
budget.
Well, no, he's got $9,572 in new equipment. So most of it can come out of new
Oh,
equipment.
yes, so I guess if it doesn't quite cover it, but.
Right. Well, I'll make a motion that we encumber $2,701.50 for police radios to Ospey Mountain Electronics and $7,992 for police server from Lakes Region Computer.
I'll second that. Any other discussion on that? We're not done, there's 3 items on that list.
Oh, right, monitor. Okay.
We gotta find out conservation.
You wanna call it vote on police?
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who was second?
Bob?
Bob. Gotta find conservation, whatever the hell that is, there we go. Okay, so this other one is $1,080 for monitoring for Rick Vanderpool. Doesn't say monitoring what?
Yeah.
I'm confused. It's not water monitoring. Oh, yeah, well, actually, when it says water monitoring,
It is.
the number is exactly $1,080.
Right, there you go.
All right, I'd have a motion to encumber the $1,080 for monitoring.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna sign it. Pass it around.
Now, Bob, do you wanna add something for the fire suppression system?
Well, we have the amount of money that we're paying, Interstate Fire.
And where is that money?
There was a warrant.
It's a warrant item. And they've started to work.
Do you know what the amount was that they billed us? Oh,
The total amount or what we paid so far?
Audrey should have both of those numbers, cause I asked for an invoice, an end of year invoice.
I had an invoice dated 10/25 for 26,642.
That was the deposit.
And
26,042.
that's all I have so far.
So we don't have a final bill from them?
No.
Hold on, you know, you
Not
know.
done.
Well, it might not have gone in yet.
Let's go to town report right here. I'm sorry to interrupt. No, that's not the right one.
Oh, and we moved them, they're right here, Chip. Yeah. We put them all over there.
Just look up, I'm not sure that that's a lapse in the law article of these fire suppression thing.
I'm not sure that we said anything about it.
I thought I emailed this to you, but it's $18,329 in anticipated final bill.
Okay, so.
include the doors?
So, the difference between those two numbers, the 26,000 and the 18, add those up, whatever,
18 what?
18,329.
Okay, so,
You have a total left on that line item of 24,957.
Okay,
no.
so we have roughly $5,000 to $6,000 available. That's gonna pay for the electrician to do his connection, which I don't know what it's gonna be. That's gonna be time and materials. The fire alarm connection from the new system to the old system. Again, that's gonna be a service invoice, time and materials. And then we have to buy
So-
two door closers
We need to
at
get all of
a
that
few
in
$100
line
a piece.
to encumber this,
Yeah, well,
because this is a lapse in.
I've asked for the electrician to do it before the end, the alarm company to do it before the end of the year.
So can we get all the supplies out of one place or two places or whatever?
No, it's gonna be three, because we're gonna have night security to pay, we're gonna have Scott Thompson Electric
And we
to
already
pay.
have them on the deal? They've already done part of it, or they were,
Night security has not, Scott Thompson has not.
okay, but they've agreed to do it?
They've agreed to do it.
Okay, so,
And we're only talking total of a few $1,000s. And the two door closers for those two doors, which are probably $400 a piece.
So do you wanna encumber the full remaining balance of 24,957?
$5,629 is what I've got.
Well, yeah, we should encumber the full balance of the warrant article. Yes. And then whatever we don't spend will just end up going into general fund.
Okay, we've contracted for the $18,329. You don't have to encumber that.
Okay?
They've done the work and we're waiting for the bill and we'll end up paying it in January.
They haven't completed the work, they'll come back after the electrician.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
but they've
okay,
already
so-
done the $18,000 worth.
So is the 18,000 owed or is that?
No, that's gonna be, when they're done, that's what the bill's gonna
Okay,
be.
so we have to do that as well.
That's why I got the invoice in, so we can encumber it.
Suffering, Jesus.
18,329.
But night security and Scott Thompson Electric, I don't know what the amount is gonna be, but we're gonna have to pay them.
You think it'll be under 6,000?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So if you
We don't have
encumber the
6,000.
remaining balance of that warrant article,
They
you
have
save.
$5,700.
Yes.
So we want to, I'll move that we encumber $23,958 for the completion of the fireproofing of the records room.
And that's the balance of the warrant article?
No, the balance.
That is,
The balance of the warrant article is 24,957.31.
we're $1,000 apart. How did that happen?
Who's higher?
Audrey.
And
What's it
I
cover?
mean, I don't mind using your number, Audrey, if we have that money there.
Yep, the fire suppression was for $52,000.
Okay,
Okay, you've spent 27,042. You have 24,957.
oh, it's 52, okay. I'm happy to make a mistake. So what's the final number?
24,957.
24,957, okay, I'm gonna modify my motion to encumber $24,957 of the fire suppression warrant.
I will second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now,
Those are the only ones we got, right? For
Yep,
contracts, okay.
I'll notate the fire suppression on the sign tonight.
okay. Next, we have statement from our auditors, which requires 3 signatures. Describes everything they've done for us as of December 31st, 2022. It lists their responsibilities, et cetera, et cetera. I'd like a motion to sign this.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Do we want any discussion?
Um,
I can give you a quick synopsis at the end if you'd like.
is this a renewal of their auditing agreement, or is this just a
This is a confirmation
okay,
Of what they've done,
of what they've done.
year-end report, so to speak.
We confirm to the best of our knowledge and belief, as of December 14th, 2023, the following representations made to you during our audit, and it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
I reaffirm my second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Right after that, we have the basic veterans exemption. Fully vetted and with a honorable discharge attached. I'd have a motion to grant that.
So moved.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye. We haven't, back to the auditors, we haven't had a different auditing company for quite some time. So maybe in 2024, we need to put that back out on the street. See what's out there.
I'm sure you gentlemen can handle that.
I didn't want to overload your plate, Mr. Chairman.
You better get up earlier in the morning. Next up, we have a tax abatement. Says here the July tax bill was sent to the previous owner who never forwarded it to them. Simple enough. We have a note from our tax collector that verifies. I'd like a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye. Just one signature on this one, right?
Yeah, just one for everybody. Yeah. All right, the last but not least on signatures, we have enclosed, we should find the 2024 town contract for animal sheltering services from the Lakes Region Humane Society. Says us to review and reach out with any questions or concerns. They'd like it back by the 1st of January. And it lists fees and associated costs that might happen. Pretty much the same thing, we always sign, it requires one signature.
I'll make a motion that the chair sign that agreement.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's it for signature. Moving right along to action items. The only action item we have is a reminder from Dan Barnett of the Tufton Borough Times to get an article in
By the
for
sixth.
publication.
Right, I talked to him at the, whatever that night was.
Yes,
At the fire
at
station.
the appreciation event.
Appreciation of that, I'm sorry.
All right, correspondence. We have the letter with more detail about the storm damage from Chief Thompson, if you guys want to read that. Sadly, we have a letter to the Board of Selectmen from Mr. Gordon Hunt. I'll read this. Gentlemen, I'm writing this to inform you that due to a change in residence, I will have to resign from my position as a library trustee effective January 1st of 2024. At our December meeting, the trustees voted to ask the Selectmen to approve Betty Gunnard to finish out my term until the March elections of 2024. We urge you to accept her nomination. Thank you for all your support for the library over the years. Together we have created something that the town can take pride in and will last for years to come. Best regards, Gordon Hunt.
Well, I would move Betty Gunnard
absolutely,
position if she's willing to accept it.
yes, I presume she is, or they wouldn't. I don't know if we actually need to vote on that.
I don't either,
No,
I mean, I'll
but I-
second for approval.
Yeah, absolutely. All in favor?
Aye.
And a big thanks to Gordon. He's been a huge help in many ways, not only in the library, but budget committee and other stuff. He's done a hell of a job for us, and I hate to see him leave town, but it's up to him.
Gordon has served our town well.
All right, we have received notice of our receipt of our rooms and meals tax money in the sum of $235,312.59. I don't know how that stacks up against our anticipated number for revenues, but supposedly we received it. So we will,
That's been deposited.
yes, great. We have a certificate of achievement for Chief Shiguri, completed the title of New Hampshire DOT Work Zone Training for Uniformed Officers. The DOT has sent us a letter stating that we have a special one-time bridge payment in accordance with House Bill number 2, payment for maintenance, construction, and reconstruction of municipally owned bridges. And it says that this one-time payment is anticipated to be available to the town of Tuftonboro during the month of December 2023 as follows: $14,741.71.
So I believe that one is above and beyond like the block grant, so it
Right.
will have to be
Right.
tracked against a specific project.
Would it be a
I'm
good
not
idea
sure.
to,
I'm not sure it does have to get tracked against a specific project, I think you just get the money, and it has to go into the highway budgets. We can't build a bridge for that kind of money.
No,
no, but would it,
So
would
Excuse
it,
me, I'll read what it says if you
Sure.
don't mind, it'll be a little easier for you. This payment can only be used on the maintenance, construction, or reconstruction of municipally owned bridges. These are non-lapsing funds. No funds appropriated under this section shall be used to supplant locally budgeted and approved funds for bridge maintenance or construction. And that the funds appropriated in this section may be considered unanticipated money under RSA 31:95-b and may be accepted and expended pursuant to RSA 31:95-b, Roman numeral 2 through 4. So,
They should be just sending it to us.
so
yes,
you could make a motion to accept that unanticipated money now.
I'll make a motion that we accept the unanticipated money in the amount of $14,741.71.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. I would also like to make a motion that we, use this as seed money to open up, for a fund for the Tuftonboro Neck Bridge. That we're gonna have to
So just
start
do it
putting
there,
money
yeah.
away for. We're
Well, it's a
gonna,
non-lapsing fund, so.
right,
It'll be there. I'm not sure that you need a motion to do anything with it. But if you wanna designate it specifically,
It wouldn't be bad to have it in a separate fund like that.
we're gonna have to start putting money away for that bridge anyways.
When you discuss warrant articles.
so my only concern there is that if we,
Capital reserve, I guess is what I'm
if we
saying.
put it in a capital reserve for that particular bridge, and something else happens where we can actually do a repair ourselves, we'll have to come up with the money. Whereas this, if it was just
Yeah, I
there.
mean, I think if you were gonna do it that way, I think I'd be in agreement with saying, okay, 14,000, whatever it is, into a non-lapsing bridge repair fund.
And don't specify which
Yeah,
one,
'cause
because
then
anything could happen.
If the, the bridge over Melvin River
Right.
goes down or whatever,
You wanna make that a motion? You
I
wanna,
wanna wait till the money gets here and then we'll make the motion, that's what I'd like to do.
Okay.
that sounds good. Moving on.
Alright, I've withdrawn my motion.
We have a letter from the New Hampshire Electric Co-op, which explains their right-of-ways as far as trimming goes. We also have one from the co-op talking about how they want to bring broadband to us. That's good, it actually has a schedule of fees attached to it. And it doesn't say when, but soon, They
They
hope to
said
bring it to
twenty
us.
twenty-four when last we met.
You know, that was a while back, yes. So, we can hope.
Yeah.
It
Right.
says here, estimated service availability 02/2025 on that map.
February
Alright.
25th.
Good.
'02, that's February.
Of 2025.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to spend a year putting it in.
We have a regional transportation newsletter from the Lakes Region Planning Commission. And we have a wetlands notification by permit, which has been through the Conservation Commission, because that's my selectmen's update for that one. That was it. Now we're on to town administrator and selectmen's updates. The Conservation Commission met. I was there. That wetlands permit was discussed, approved. There was discussion about the possibilities of future purchases. As the chairman spoke to us at our last meeting, he's waiting for the appraisal of the Calton property. We still don't have that. We'll need it before warrant article time, but hopefully that's gonna come shortly. That was my only update at the moment that I can think of.
The planning board met last Thursday and conditionally approved the wedding venue that we read about recently on Canaan Road.
A camp?
No, at a large residence.
Oh.
Conditionally approved, so many events per year, hours of operation, parking restrictions, etc. That's it.
So I went to the budget meeting, my three brothers were there. It went reasonably well, I think. I think they're gonna have to figure out what direction they wanna go in, because our budgets are really getting to be significantly different. And historically, the budget committee budget has been the prevailing budget voted by the voters. So I'll have to take a look at that. I haven't pulled out the chip card of saying you only get to vote on the bottom line of each budget, and you don't get to tell us where we spend the money. But, cause I'm hoping to remain collegial with these folks. I think we can stay under 10% of an increase in the operating budget, it looks like that, the way I see it. Rob is seeing it a little higher than that. I have had, on 2 occasions, people tell me that they went hiking in the Ospey Mountains, and we're trying to do whatever you do in the Ospey Mountains for hiking, and we're told by representatives of Camp Mira Vista that there was no parking on that road. It's a town road. It troubles me that they wanna control all of it. And while talking about camps, I was at the Tuftonboro store. There was a young lady selling handmade stars for Christmas to raise money so she can go to camp. So I will restate once again, every child in Tuftonboro should be able to go to camp. We have 6 camps who pay us virtually nothing in taxation. And if they can't see that we're clear to providing camp services for our children, I'm gonna bring up next year a discontinuance of the road.
Pilot program?
No, the pilot program's gonna remain. We're gonna stop maintaining roads. I mean, it just, all of the expenses start being on one side. I think we need to talk about charging them for fire inspections. You know, the amount of hours that our fire department spends down there inspecting those buildings and campgrounds or camping facilities you know, we pay for that. You know, and they can pull out their ACE card of saying, I don't want summer camps, and that's not what I'm saying. What I want is I wanna have a little bit of a community involvement by our camps. And financially, we'd be better off without the summer camps, cause we'd have $1 million houses lining the lake, and they'd pay $10 a thousand on a town taxes, or whatever the rate is.
Can't argue with that line of reasoning.
But that said, I'm in favor of having the camps, I just don't think they're good citizens. And I'm gonna continue to say that as long as they tell people they can't park on a town road, and they don't give any sort of deference to the children of Tuftonboro. And I'm not interested in them saying that, well, we might give a scholarship here and a scholarship there, that doesn't do it for me. I'm gonna draw the line, every kid in Tuftonboro can go to camp, and the camps can pay. If all 90 kids from Tuftonboro Central School went to camp for a month in Tuftonboro, you're not talking a ton of money. And if they, you know, they don't wanna play, then we'll have to play a little rougher, that's all I'm saying. That's the Christmas spirit coming out of me.
Perfect. Do we have anything from our town administrator?
We have to make a decision on the invoice from Wolfboro Recreation. You did send a letter last year, which I understand wasn't responded to. I am meeting with the town manager there the first week of January. And I was planning on addressing having a formalized agreement going forward. I'm not sure what you wanna do with the
Well, as we
invoice
know,
for the past.
$16,000 and change is what we've been paying for a number of years. This year, Eileen Gill from Parks and Rec did the best research she could, which seemed to indicate that we would really only use $13,000 and change from that budget. However, as you have informed us, the Parks and Rec department from Wolfboro has said that they base their numbers on a guess. It shouldn't be that hard to give us accurate numbers. After all, if the people using the facilities and programs that don't provide some kind of confirmation that they're from Tuftonboro, why bother at that point? I don't know. Can we pay this bill after she meets? Or a portion of it, what do we do?
No, it's-
I'm wondering about this.
It's-
We get invoices later, you know, after the first of the year, and we pay them because they're from, you know, the previous year, but
We're closer than we were last year by at least having this guesstimate of usage. However, we have a standing agreement to pay 1/16 of their administrative fees.
We have no agreement in writing, we have lots of
Hearsay?
hearsay, I have multiple flavors.
I really, really hope that you are successful in pulling an agreement, a formal agreement together sooner than later. In the meantime, I don't wanna be party to terminating or poisoning a relationship that we have with Wolfboro that would directly affect our citizens. And I think if we don't pay this bill, Wolfboro would have every right to terminate any so-called hearsay agreement and charge whatever they want to the Tuftonboro residents. I think that the only way to keep this rate discount happening is to pay the bill, because we don't have another agreement moving forward. And until we have a new arrangement moving forward, I think that's in the best interests of the residents of the town, and I would make that a motion to pay the bill in full
you wanna use that number?
of $1,661.
You got another.
$16,661.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Only that, given the various statements by members of the budget committee and others, of their support for our paying the bill to Wolfboro. I don't think we're in a position currently to not pay the bill. It hasn't been fully negotiated.
Right.
I think it would really cause, I really don't care about bad feelings with Wolfboro, but I don't want any bad feelings here in Tuftonboro either, or more importantly, so. That's all I can say.
All right, motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll pay the bill.
Okay,
Going forward, put on your hard-nosed negotiator hat and at least, at the very least, get us some hard numbers.
Yeah.
right,
There should be no reason they can't, they, if
Yeah,
you're
the
gonna,
only, the only problem I see going forward is Dennis's ability to square the circle of, you know, we're paying Wolfboro, and he, in his heart of hearts, I think, thinks that 16 grand ought to get spent on something he wants to spend it on. And it wouldn't happen that way anyway, but how are we gonna,
we don't have the ability at this time to provide the programs and services that Wolfboro Parks and Rec does provide, so there's no way that we can fill the
no,
void.
I see Dennis as an asset, and I don't wanna,
I do
don't
too,
want him walking away from it because of this deal,
but
that's all.
Agreed, and I know that us paying this bill is gonna anger Dennis, because he wants to spend that money, in town, directly do something with residents, but, without a plan, without a vision, we're not there yet.
Right.
I support his feelings and his desire, but we're not there yet.
yeah, we have to act rationally rather than emotionally.
Correct.
Okay, what else would you like to talk about?
this is year end and it's gonna be another Uni-Smart learning curve on the, carryover for vacation and all those types of things that have to happen. I won't actually be, flipping I might have to actually open the new year on the system because next week will be the first payroll
Right.
paycheck. So,
And are we going to 2-week payroll, or are we not?
I would like to, we're not prepared yet though. I wanna close out the year.
Can it happen mid-year?
It can happen anytime, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I would like, if you would, please, to do whatever it takes to get the new personnel policy in our hands so that we can approve it and get it out to the people.
Okay,
Or I should say that, the revised personnel policy. I realize that getting all those copies made and everything is a monumental task. And there's no staples here where you can just give it to them and they do it for you, but
yeah, there is. But,
I made a bunch of grammatical
you did,
corrections.
right. And I would like to have a work session because I have some questions about it. So on the spreadsheet I gave you for the personnel, there's a FSA that each employee gets $750. That's not mentioned in the personnel policy anywhere.
Right, because it happened well after that personnel policy was put in place.
So you did the personnel policy,
Yeah.
Well, I question whether that was available for discussion. This, what you just said, FSA $750.
is that the HRA,
yeah, that's that column, yeah.
which is actually
Then-
different, it's more than that, it's a lot more than that for some.
Right, because an individual gets $750 and then 2 times for a
Yeah.
two-person
Yeah.
health plan,
Right.
3 times for a family.
Mhm. If it was never in the policy and it's been in effect, I really don't see any problem with continuing.
And just leave it as a benefit,
Yes,
that's not in the policy. So if anyone argues with us about it, or you decide not to do it anymore,
well, I can go back to 2016 with one of these sheets and it was there. It's-
yeah,
Historically, it's been
Yeah.
there, that's that's what I can tell you.
I'm not interested in cutting benefits for existing employees.
Certainly not.
I'm not recommending you cut them, but you should address what you give people,
Right, we need to put it in the
like the catastrophic, that,
Right.
yeah.
clarify.
That-
Let's
I
get it
only
done.
have a couple small edits, that I'd recommend in personnel policy. So I don't know, I could have them ready if you wanna do a work session Friday, and talk about warrant articles as well. When do you guys wanna get together?
It works for me on Friday.
Sure.
I can do a work session Friday, just as soon do it in the morning, get it over with.
Me
Me
too.
too.
9 o'clock work
I'm
session,
so grumpy in the morning.
Friday.
Yeah,
Sounds
9
good.
o'clock. As long as we're done by noontime, cause I got a bathroom to paint.
Okay, so
That should
we're
take
gonna,
about an hour. All right. Anything else from you, Audrey?
That's it.
All right, any other business we need to discuss? I'd have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you boys later. On Friday, 9 o'clock, work session.
Yeah. Be there or be square.
That's it. Whoops. All right, young lady.